Hello everybody, welcome back to the Unfan Podcast and welcome to my Match Week 16 predictions. Some massive games this weekend in League One. And first of all, I've got to say, touching on last week, we will be doing it, of course, again this week, going against you, the subscribers and the viewers of my podcast. I've got to say though, last week we got a few people involved, and a massive shout out to Paul and Matthew who got the right outcome of the game, both of which predicted Oxford United to beat Burton. However, a huge shout out and a massive congratulations to Matthew who got the exact scoreline, 3-1 to Oxford United. He predicted it. It's what happened. Fantastic stuff from you, Matthew. And I can tell you, we've got more people getting involved this week for Match Week 16. Charlie, Matthew, Ian, Alex, and Paul have all submitted in predictions across games across this weekend of football in League One. Of course, you can get involved next week. All you've got to do, the fixtures for next week and next Saturday's games are actually on the screen right now. I've just remembered as I'm saying it, it's actually FA Cup weekend next week, so it'll be the week after that. There'll be no match. We might do an FA Cup predictions, a special FA Cup predictions, but I definitely think we'll be doing League One predictions the week after that. So the predictions and the fixtures for that will be on the screen right now. You can get involved by sending in either DMing me and typing your predictions or sending videos. Of course, we've got a real mix today, so yeah, really do get involved in that as well. The podcast Instagram is at the Young Fan Podcast, on Twitter is at Young Fan Podcast. And on email, it's theyoungfanpodcast@gmail.com. You can get involved just like these people in this predictions episode of the podcast. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully you enjoyed this one. And yeah, let's get straight into it. Starting off with Cambridge United against Wimbledon. So my prediction straight off the bat is going to be 1-1 in this game, with both of these sides coming to this game a little bit of mixed form. Cambridge United really are struggling at the moment. I'm going to try and whip out the League One table so I can really just make sure that I'm getting all the positions spot on. But I can tell you, Cambridge United come into this game with really quite struggling form. I don't think they've won a game in the last 4. I'm just going to double check that to make sure I'm getting the right facts right. And actually, the last 5 they haven't won a game against FC Wimbledon. Like I said, also have been struggling quite recently. They come into this game quite mixed form, but only winning 1 game out of the last 5. So both of these teams come into this match on Saturday with a little bit of mixed form behind them. FC Wimbledon slightly edging them with a win 2 weeks ago. But ultimately, this is going to be, I think, a really, really quite tight game. Cambridge currently sat in 17th. AFC Wimbledon currently sat in 15th. You can see there, the form's quite similar. The positions in the League One table are quite similar as well. I think this game's going to be really, really tight. I'm going with a draw. And like I said, I'm going to go with 1-1 in this game. I can tell you other predictions as well. Ian's predicted 1-1 just like myself. Alex has gone with a 3-1 Wimbledon win in this game as well. So I've gone with 1-1, and yeah, some mixed results from the other guys that got involved as well. But yeah, I'm going to go with 1-1. I'm going to draw in this game. Next, and we've got Charlton and we've got Doncaster. Charlton against Doncaster. What an interesting game this is going to be. Of course, Doncaster coming to this game really quite we're fairly mixed form again. Really, 2 wins at the last 5, 2 defeats and a draw in there as well. Charlton coming into this game with a bit of quite a big confidence, beating Sunderland 1-0 last weekend. Of course, without the manager, probably is going to be maybe a job of I guess the loss of a manager bounce you normally get. Sometimes you get the new manager bounces quite often, but I mean, just getting rid of a manager, they seem to got a bounce from that as well. So that may be proving multiple different things. But I can tell you, Doncaster are going to find a really quite difficult game here at the Valley. Like I said, Charlton are coming into this game with massive confidence. Again, a massive win behind them as well. I think Charlton are going to win this game very, very comfortably. I'm going to go 3-0. I can tell you, Ian predicted 2-0 Charlton, and Alex predicted 1-0 Charlton. So I've gone with 3-0. The other guys as well have all predicted with Charlton wins. So yeah, everyone's predicting Charlton to win this game. I'm going to go the most comfortable out of the lot. I'm going to go 3-0. Going to be quite a difficult game for Doncaster. I think Charlton have got it in the bag though. Next up, we've got Cheltenham against Sheffield Wednesday. Cheltenham, okay, this is going to be, really quite a tight game because, again, away from home. And I've got an interesting stat that I want to mention as well, because I think when we talk about these things, we mentioned a lot of things about stats, but I wanted to find out a little bit more about the home advantage and how that's been coming to play as well. Because of course now we're playing with fans behind the players as well. Obviously after COVID times, you're seeing now a lot more home wins. And a stat that really came out to me so far this season, we've seen 473 goals, and the average goals per game is 2.78. But this fact here, this stat that really stood out for me when doing this research was 46% have been home wins this season. So obviously you have to take that into consideration slightly when you're doing predictions, but you can see the difference from last season as well. I haven't got that stat there for you, but I believe it's much lower than that. Without fans, with fans, it makes a massive difference. Seeing many more home wins this season because of the fact you've got that home backing. You've got the majority of home fans backing behind their players and behind their team. We're seeing much more home wins. Now, I've said all that, and my prediction for Cheltenham versus Sheffield Wednesday completely contradicts that. I've gone with Sheffield Wednesday beating Cheltenham in this game. However, I want to have a look again at that league table, because the league table again is really, really interesting to look at. Cheltenham are currently sat in 14th, and like I said, a new promoted side have come into this season and doing really, really well. Sheffield Wednesday are actually unbeaten in the last 4. 3 of those have been draws, but I've got to be honest, I think Sheffield Wednesday are going to win this game, but I think they're only going to edge it. We played against Cheltenham as an Oxford United at Cheltenham this season, a tough battle, a really quite difficult game. We lost 1-0, we weren't great, but Cheltenham really did very, very well. So I'm going to go with Sheffield Wednesday winning this game, though. I think it could easily be a draw, but I'm going to go with Sheffield Wednesday beating. I'm going to back my prediction. I'm going to go with 2-1. Charlie predicted 3-1 in this game. Matthew predicted 2-1. Ian predicted 2-0. And Alex predicted 1-0 to Sheffield Wednesday. So every single one of us have predicted a Sheffield Wednesday win. But watching out, really keep an eye out for that one. I think it's going to be quite a tight game. Cheltenham very, very good at home. Sheffield Wednesday a bit of patchy form at the moment. They have, like I said, drawn their last 3 games. It's going to be interesting, but yeah, going to be a difficult game. I'm going to go with 2-1 to Sheffield Wednesday. Crewe, Alexandra against MK Dons. Of course, Crewe are now newly, it's not a great stat to have. They are the new favourites. They're the new team at the bottom of the league, aren't they? And that's really quite a worrying position to be in. 24th after 14 games. Haven't won a game in the last 5. Only won 1 game this season, so it's actually more than just their last 5. I think MK Dons are going to win this game 2-0. We look at MK Dons this season. They're currently just outside the playoffs, currently sat in 7th. Their form, quite recent in the last 5, hasn't been great. They've lost 3 out of the last 5 games, only won 1 in there as well. So it's not great form for MK Dons. They start the season high flying. They're not quite doing that as of yet. And they need to pick that up quite quickly if they want to get back into promotion fight, promotion contention, which I'm sure they still are, but real promotion contention, sitting in that top 6. But Crewe, like I mentioned a second ago, they're bottom of the league. I think they're going to find this game quite difficult. I know I brought that stuff up about the home wins, and I'm about to predict another away win. And I'm going to go with 2-0 MK Dons in this game. I can tell you, Charlie, you agree with me. He went with 2-0. Ian went with 2-0, so we're all agreeing so far. Alex went with 3-0. So you can see there, we've all predicted MK Dons to win as well. Very, very similar. All of us have got pretty much similar score lines. 3 of us have got the same score, and Alex has gone with 1 goal more. But I'm going to go with 2-0 against MK Dons. Going to be quite difficult for Crewe, who aren't in great form, who are bottom of the league. And MK Dons need to find a little bit more winning form to get back into that top 6. They're going to be desperate to do it. Against bottom of the league, I think they're going to be able to do it. I'm going to go 2-0. Fleetwood then against Wycombe Wanderers. I'm going to go with 1-0 Wycombe. I explain myself like I always do. I don't like just giving out scorelines. I want to just get a reasoning behind it to do it. When I do these predictions, I like to give reasoning. It's a podcast as well. It's not just me saying scores and then ending the podcast. This is a podcast where we like to delve deep into the football side of things. Look at form, look at goals, look at the stats I've brought up already. I don't want to be just throwing out scorelines for you, just there and here, or here and there, as the normal saying goes. I don't think anyone said there or here. But Fleetwood, I'm going to go looking at Fleetwood so far this season. It's been okay, and they are in the relegation zone 21st. But and then I say their recent form's been alright. They've lost 3 games. They have won a game in there and draw, I guess, in a relegation scrap, which I do find themselves in after 13 games. That's not awful form. You look at Crewe, who hasn't won a game in a lot, to be fair. I mean, they have only won 1 game this season. Fleetwood have won 3. It's going to be difficult for Fleetwood. They'll play against the Wycombe side again, who are currently second in the league, should I say. The last 5 games in particular, they've won 4 out of the last 5, so very, very good in the last 5 games at Wycombe Wanderers. Again, we know how Wycombe like to play. They play a very, very more defensive style, a bit more of a direct style, you could say. Gareth Ainsworth's got a great thing going at Wycombe Wanderers. They got relegated last season. They want to get straight back into the Championship. They've done a good job of that so far this season. Currently sat in second, travelling to Fleetwood this Saturday. It's going to be difficult. I am going to go with 1-0 against 1-0 Wycombe Wanderers. Ever since I brought that stat up, I've predicted an away win. I'm contradicting myself every single time. I'm going to go with 1-0 Wycombe, though, in this game. I can tell you, Ian predicted a 2-1 Wycombe win. Alex went with a 0-0 draw in that game. Right, let's move on to the next one then. We've got Accrington Stanley travelling to Gillingham. Gillingham against Accrington Stanley in this game. This is going to be quite fascinating. I look at Gillingham so far this season. Not doing great. They're sat in 90. The last 5 games seen 3 defeats. But in the last 2, they've won 1 and drawn 1 as well. So not awful in their most recent form, if you like. They play against an Accrington Stanley side who are doing fairly well. They're 11th in the League One table. In the last 5 games, they've won 2, drawn the other, and lost the remaining 2 of that 5 as well. So it's going to be quite a difficult test. I've watched Accrington Stanley play this season, and we battered them 5-1. But I've got to be honest with you, what I've seen from Accrington across the other fixtures and across other games as well, they've looked much better. It did seem like a bit of a one-off battering, you could say, against Accrington. They're travelling against a Gillingham side that have a very, very set way of playing. Under Steve Evans, he likes to play, again, a bit more of a defensive style of play. I'm going to go with 1-1 in this game. I'm going with a draw. Matthew also agreed with me. He's gone with 1-1 there as well. Ian's also agreed with me 1-1. I promise you, I didn't copy these people. I did actually ask these predictions. I did these predictions without even looking at them. I know you're probably not going to believe me, but I did go with 1-1. And Alex has gone with 2-0 Gillingham win in this game. He's gone with a home win. Gillingham beating Accrington by 2-0. I'm going to go with 1-1. A tight, edgy 1-1 draw for me. Next then, we've got Lincoln City against Shrewsbury. Lincoln, after a fantastic Tuesday night win against Wigan at Wigan. A fantastic result for Michael Appleton's boys. They're playing against the side at Shrewsbury Town, who are in 20th, just above the relegation zone, and in okay form, similar for relegation side. It's fairly good form. 2 wins in the last 5. They have lost the remaining 5 of those games. However, I've got to be honest with you, their recent form in a relegation situation isn't that bad at all. Like I said, they're playing against Lincoln City, who had a fantastic win on Tuesday night. They're going to be full of confidence. They're climbing their way up that League One table, currently now sat in 12th in the league. I think Lincoln City are going to win this game. I'm going to go quite comfortably. I'm going to go with 3-1. Ian has gone with 1-1, and Alex has gone with 1-1 as well. They've both gone with draws. I think Lincoln City, I don't know when these boys did these predictions. They might have done before that Tuesday game. Against Wigan, they were phenomenal against Wigan. I've got to be honest with you, and I think, to be honest, I think it was Wednesday game, it wasn't a Tuesday game. They were absolutely fantastic. They beat Wigan away from home, great win for them. I'm going to think that confidence is going to massively help them against Shrewsbury at the weekend. I'm going to go with 3-1 in that game. Next up, we've got Oxford United against Morecambe. Then you know how I feel about predicting Oxford United games. If you watch this podcast prediction segment we do every single week, you'll know that I'd hate predicting Oxford United games. I just seem to jinx them every single week. I don't really believe in jinx, but apparently when I'm doing Oxford predictions, jinx becomes just so much of a reality for me. And I'm going to say it, and I've just said that, and at the same time, I am predicting Oxford United win. I'm not going to predict us to lose to get a result. I've got to get to that stage yet. That is the ultimate stage. I might be doing that come the end of the season, but right now I'm sticking with it. I'm going to go with an Oxford win. I haven't just gone with any old Oxford win. I'm going with 3-0 in this game. Now, again, I can hear it now. You're biased, Jack. I understand that. I get it. However, we're in really good form, and after that Burton result on last Saturday, that should be all the confidence we need to go there in front of the fans as well. It's a discounted fan day, I think it is. I don't think it's officially called that, but with the discounted price, there's going to be a lot of people in that ground. Maybe a little bit more, no disrespect to Morecambe, but that game normally would, Morecambe aren't the biggest club in League One. That might be quite difficult to get as many people in. I've got to be honest though, it's half term. People want to try and get in on Saturday to watch Oxford United play against Morecambe. It's going to be a great atmosphere. I can only feel it. And they're playing in really, really good form. That win, like I said, against Burton, the game before that against Shrewsbury, we're now 6th. We're now in the playoffs after 14 games. That is going to be all the confidence Oxford United need to go into this game with real momentum. Morecambe coming to this game with the opposite of that. They're really quite struggling as of late. I've got to be honest with you, so far this season, I've been very, very impressed with Morecambe. Very, very impressed with Cole Stockton in particular. He's been a fantastic goal scorer, which we'll come into as well because we've got a really exciting podcast episode. Hopefully coming out tomorrow, looking at every League One team's best player so far this season, and Cole Stockton, no spoiler, is going to be in that video. I've just given Morecambe's best player so far away, but you probably would have guessed that before the podcast. But they're currently sat in 18th, and so far, like I said, regardless of what their recent form is, I've been very, very impressed with them so far this season. 4 wins, 18th in the League One table. Very, very impressive. But their recent form hasn't been great. They've lost 3 out of the last 5 games. They've drawn. They haven't won a game in 4. It's not going to be easy for them playing against a very, very in-form Oxford United side. I'm going to go 3-0. I could have completely got that wrong. I probably have got that wrong. I definitely have jinxed Oxford United on Saturday. But I'm backing with it. I'm hoping Oxford United can do that. And I'm going to go 3-0. I can tell you, Charlie went with a 3-1 win, Matthew went with a 2-0 win, Ian went with a 2-1 win, Alex went with a 1-0 win. We've all predicted Oxford United to win the game. Have we all ruined Oxford United's chances of a Saturday victory? I'm not entirely sure. I really hope not. But you can see there we have all predicted Oxford United to win the game. I've been a little bit more confident than the others, let's put it that way, but I'm pretty sure we can get the win. It may not be 3-0, and I can tell you something, when we do this match reaction on Saturday and it's not 3-0, I will not be worrying as long as we've won the game.
Oxford Morecambe score prediction. I'm going to go 3-0 Oxford. Should be an easy game. Morecambe not in the best of form. They haven't had a great start. I mean, we're on pretty good form as well. Good win the other day, so yeah, we should hopefully be confident.
Plymouth Argyle against Ipswich, of course, league leaders. Plymouth Argyle against Ipswich are really clawing their way up the League One table. Ipswich in fantastic form. The last 4 games have seen them win 3 and draw the other one, unbeaten in 4. Plymouth, though, are in fantastic form. They're doing so well this season, like I said, top of the League One table. What a game this is going to be. Ipswich are very, very, like I said, in form, climbing their way up the League One table. Plymouth, who are already at the top of the League One table, they can't climb any higher. They can close the gap, but they can't climb any higher. They're top of the tree and doing a fantastic job at keeping that spot. They've been fantastic recently. I did draw the last game against Morecambe. That's going to be quite a difficult one. Oxford United fans, I've just remembered they did just draw against Morecambe. That could be interesting. But again, I think in this game, I think they're going to win it, and I can see goals. I can see goals in this game. Plymouth scored goals. Ipswich have got all the attacking talent we've seen now. They're sort of finding a little bit of rhythm. They're gelling a little bit better. They've got a bit of momentum. I can see them scoring goals. To be fair, even when they're out of form, they could still score goals. That's the interesting thing. We look at how many goals they have scored this season. They have scored 29 goals, which is actually the most amount of goals, I'm pretty sure, in the league. They've scored the most amount of goals, but currently find themselves in 10th. They score goals. Plymouth have scored 26 goals. They haven't scored, again, I think that's joint, no, that's the second highest. They're the second, they're the second highest top goal scorers behind Ipswich. Both of them, the top 2 high scoring teams. I can see goals in this game. I'm going to go with 3-2 Plymouth. I know. That could be interesting. I know, sorry Ipswich fans, there'll probably be a lot of Ipswich fans watching this episode of the podcast. I can really see this game going either way. It could be 4-2 Ipswich, it could be 4-2 Plymouth, it could be 3-2 either way. It could even be a 4-4 thrilling draw. I'm not entirely sure. I've gone with a win. I can see goals. Like I said, it really could go either way. I'm going with 3-2 Plymouth. I can tell you Charlie's gone with goals as well, but he's gone with a 2-2 draw. It could easily be that. I think Charlie might have got it spot on there. Ian's gone with a 2-1 Plymouth win. Alex has also gone with me, a 3-2 Plymouth win as well. We've all can see goals in this game. There will be goals in this game, hopefully. I mean, if you watch the game, it's 0-0 draw. I've definitely might have jinxed that as well. I think there will be goals in this game. They both score goals so far this season. I'm going to go to 3-2 Plymouth win. Like I said, it really could go either way.
Plymouth Ipswich. Plymouth have had a very good start. Ipswich, they had a very poor start, but they're starting to gel now. They're starting to pick up form. I mean, Plymouth, they are on very good form as well, though. So I'm going to go 2-1 Plymouth, mainly because they're at home, and Pieface will have a very good day.
And we've got another massive game, Portsmouth against Bolton. Portsmouth currently in 16th. Bolton find themselves in 13th, unbeaten. Unwinnable, should I say. Haven't won a game, that's the word. Have not won a game in the last 4 games, whereas Portsmouth are similar. Haven't won a game in 3 games. They both find themselves going into this game with not great form. And I have gone with Portsmouth to win the game. Now, I think when you look at the league table, Bolton are 13th, Portsmouth are 16th. So maybe Bolton could maybe have that league position advantage. But I'm going with that home away win percentage starting in the back of my mind when predicting this game. I'm going to go with Portsmouth winning the game 1-0. They really do need a win. Both teams need a win to get themselves back into form. Both of these teams are coming into this game, like I said, with poor form. This game will be massive for this side if whoever gets the win here. I think it's going to be Portsmouth. Apologise, Bolton fans. It could even be 1-1. I won't lie, it could even be 1-1. But I think someone will win the game. I'm going with Portsmouth. I'm looking at that 48% home win so far this season. 1-0 to Portsmouth. And I can tell the other lads as well, they've gone with Ian winning the game. Ian's not going to win the game. He's predicted Bolton to win the game by 2-1. Alex has gone with 2-0 Bolton. Everyone's predicting Bolton to win at Portsmouth. I haven't. I'm the only one that hasn't done it. So, you can think, Bolton fans, if you're frustrated that we haven't predicted you to win, the other 2 guys have. I just haven't, unfortunately. But I really can see this could go either way. Maybe even a draw. I'm not entirely sure. Next, and we've got, every game's a big game in League One, but this one, 4th against 5th, Rotherham against Sunderland. How's this game going to pan out? Of course, Rotherham are in 5th. They've actually doing very, very well this season. The last 5 games, so they've won 4, and they've only drawn 1. Sunderland have actually lost 2 of their last 5 games, but won the remaining 3. Like I said, 4th against 5th. What an exciting game this is going to be. And I'm going to go the draw. I know it's at Rotherham. He may have that advantage. I'm going with the draw. I'm going with 1-1. I can say Charlie's gone with 2-1 Sunderland. Ian's gone 2-2. And Alex has gone 2-1 Rotherham. So no teams other than Charlie, no person other than Charlie has predicted Sunderland to win. Other than Charlie, like I said, he's won the game. Who thinks Sunderland going to win the game 2-1. But yeah, I think it's going to be a really tight game. You can see that just from looking at the League One table. Both teams coming to this game with wins. Realistically, in the last 5 games, Rotherham coming to this game with more wins. Sunderland lost their last game, so they don't come into this game wins. Sunderland did lose their last game. Maybe Rotherham could edge it, but I'm going to go the draw. I think both teams will know how big this game is. They know how big this game is, in the league position as well. So yeah, I'm going to go with a draw. I'm going with 1-1.
Rotherham Sunderland game, I'm going to go 1-1. I don't know much about the teams and players from the other teams in our leagues, but there's a 1-point gap between them, so it'll be a tough one.
Next, and we've got Wigan against Burton. Wigan currently find themselves in 3rd, of course, that disappointing game on Wednesday, losing to Lincoln City. Burton, of course, lost last Saturday to Oxford United. They currently come into this game with a defeat as well, but they come into this in 8th position in the League One table. I think Wigan are going to win this game by 2 goals. That's the prediction I've gone with. Even though Wigan got that really quite disappointing result, and they did have that home game against Lincoln, but they're going to be desperate to sort of, repay those home fans again. After that disappointing home defeat on Wednesday, they want a home win now, don't they? And I think they will get that against Burton. I'm going 2-0, but don't sleep on Burton. Although they did lose their last game, don't sleep on them. They have a game plan. They got a good manager. They got a good set of players. I think on another day, really, really could, and have already caused a lot of damage so far this season. I'm going to go with 2-0 to Wigan. Ian's gone with 2-0 Wigan. Alex has thought that Wigan are going to smash Burton by 4-0. No team have predicted Burton to get anything from the game. Alex has gone with a 4-0 win, so he's not messing about at all against Wigan against Burton. Ladies and gentlemen, those are my predictions for this episode of the podcast. These are my predictions for this weekend of football, of course, match week 16. If you enjoyed this episode of the podcast, you want to get involved, remember, you can get involved after the FA Cup weekend. You can get involved after that as well. I really, really enjoyed it. I'll give my predictions just like a normal podcast episode. I don't want to change that, but I wanted to get the other people involved as well. So we've got some little varied predictions to go with it as well. Of course, like I said, you can get involved starting in about 2 weeks' time. Other than that, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. I've been Jack. This has been the Unfan Podcast. Remember, you can support me by subscribing and leaving a like. All of it's free and easy. Why wouldn't you do it? It's free and easy. Don't get many subscriptions in the world that are free. YouTube's one of them. You can hit that red button, hit that notification bell as well, so you never miss an episode of the podcast. You'll be notified every time I go live or do a recorded podcast episode just like this one. Other than that, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. Take care, stay safe, and I'll see you all very, very soon.